Hi everyone, it's Rhie from mrs-c-scraps and I'm here today to share a very exciting video with you. Recently, Laura from UK Scrap Addicts contacted me and asked if I would like to guest design for their channel and blog, and I am so excited that she did. I'm going to be sharing a layout today with you that fits their monthly theme, which is clustering. I absolutely love embellishment clusters, but also paper clusters as well. So we're going to get started and I'm going to show you the layout that I created. To catch you up with what I've already done so far, I've trimmed down my two photos a little bit as they were both 4x6, and I've taken a 12x12 craft cardstock sheet and I've cut a strip of that and also a strip of vellum. These strips were about 1.5 inches each and it had a nice pop of colour without being too overwhelming at the bottom of my page. I'm taking my Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams paper pad in the 6x6 and I've taken a couple of the sheets of paper and I've actually cut out from one of the sheets of paper some of their cameras. The paper as a whole was a bit overwhelming for me, but I thought it would make a perfect embellishment. I've decided to back my photos before I started on the background of the page. So as you can see here, I'm using the yellow ledger paper and I'm just using a strip of double-sided sticky tape to adhere that on the back. I'm then going to mix and match a few offcuts that I have from my scraps and a couple of the different pieces of paper to almost create a cluster of paper layers as well. I love using paper layers, especially using my scraps. It's a great way of using them up and also using a lot of different papers without using too much of your stash. I'm not being too specific with the paper layers that I'm using. I'm literally just picking up scraps, seeing if they fit and work and sticking them on. I didn't really work with the colour theme either. I'm pretty much just going with the different colours in the Chasing Dreams collection. The photos I'm scrapping are of a blue sandy beach, so they pretty much work well with most colours, but I must say I do love this really bright, almost mustard yellow from the Chasing Dreams collection. I found this black and white frame that I'd like to use. It's actually from the Crepe Paper Little U collection, but it works really well with one of the black and white accent papers that I have in my photo layers. So I've just tried that out for size there and I'm going to bring it back so I can try and work out the placement of where I'm going to start using my spray mists. I decided as yellow was such a featured colour in this layout, I would use my Heidi Swap Colour Shine in Butter, and I'm just using a bit of packaging and smooshing that on the background. I'm not being too precise, but I do have an area that I'd like to almost stay between, as you're not going to see it too much underneath the photos, so I'm just being careful to apply a little bit, and I didn't apply gesso, so I'm just being quite light-handed with this. I decided to also use one of my Dilution spray mists in yellow, and there is such a contrast between the two different colours and it gives so much texture even though it's just some spray mist on the background. So now that that's dry, I also added a few splatters of the Tropic Teal. I'm now going to attach, using some double-sided sticky tape, these strips across the bottom of my page. I decided I'm going to add in a little bit more colour and also some more texture, so I go back to the papers I've pulled from the Chasing Dreams paper pad and I choose this green and pink floral, and I'm going to also cut that into strips. I have to cut two and stick them together in the middle, but it's a great way of using up your 6x6 paper pads. I'm then going to, once they're stuck down, almost tear up and distress the bottom of that edge where it joins onto the vellum. I love the look of a torn edge, but I didn't want to risk that as my strip was so small, so I'm just using my fingers to scuff it up and push it a little bit. Now I'm working on my placement of my photos. I'm checking that they fit where I wanted them to go, and I'm now going to commit to that frame and I'm going to stick that down again using double-sided sticky tape, and then I'm going to stick down my photos as well. And once they're stuck down, this is where the fun part really begins for me. I love messing around and creating with all the different little bits that come in a collection. I'm going to go to the 12x12 chipboard sticker sheet and I'm going to take this large piece that says Happy Heart, and I'm going to be using that for my title. I'm just using some tacky glue in a fine liner bottle to add some extra adhesive to the back of that, as I have a tendency of finding things peeled off when I don't automatically put my layouts straight into albums. So I'm just being a bit careful there, and I place that to the right so that I can layer some embellishments on the left hand side. When I'm using paper strips horizontally across the layout, I love to have my embellishments run all the way along it. Now from the 6x12 sticker sheet, I've taken some of the gold plus signs. They're almost in like a bunting shape, so I've chopped a few of those off and I've placed them in 2 different places underneath the corner of the photos. It almost looks like cross-stitching the photos, so I really love the way that looks, and I wanted to add that little accent of gold. So now I'm taking those cameras that I fussy cut from the sheet of paper earlier, and I'm layering that underneath the corner of the left photo but on top of the frame. And I'm now going back to the 6x12 sticker sheet. I'm going to take 2 of the little flag stickers, one in a light pink and one in a pattern that matches the beautiful floral paper I've used for one of my strips, and I'm going to staple those onto the bottom edge of the right hand photo. I'm then going to go back to the 6x12 sticker sheet and peel this pink floral sticker. I'm going to use some yellow craft foam to bump that up because the one I'm layering on top of is chipboard. So, and then the foam I'm using is just one I got from a bumper pack from Hobbycraft in the children's section. So I'm just sticking that on and then using double-sided sticky tape to stick that onto the chipboard rows. I then go back to the 6x12 sticker sheet and decide that I want to add another little pop of gold, and I find this really cute little golden leaf, so I'm going to tuck that underneath the floral cluster. I then go back to the 12x12 chipboard sheet and find this golden white heart, and I have to add that because it's just so cute, so I add that underneath the flowers as well. I'm then back to the 6x12 sticker sheet and I find this little black sticker that says love, 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 so I tuck that underneath the corner of the photo to build on the cluster that I've got in the corner of that photo. I then go to my 6x12 chipboard sticker sheets and I find this yellow sticker that says delight in the everyday moments, and it's so apt for our little trip we took, but the colour also works so well with the layout, so I decided that I'm going to place that in that cluster on the corner of the photo, and to me it just looks so perfect there. I decided I'm going to add some stamping on the layout to add a little bit of detail at the bottom of the layout, but also some more texture, and I'm using varied Studio Calico stamps and my black Stays On ink. And first of all I'm going to take 2 stamps that say love this so much and always exploring, and I'm going to alternate stamping them along that vellum strip at the bottom of the layout, and I absolutely love this. I think I might use it more and use it in some different techniques and styles because I just love it, and I don't use my stamps enough. I have quite a few, but they're always just left and used very occasionally, so I challenged myself to use my stamps. I'm going to use another one, and it's going to be this little square stamp that says little moments like these. I do make a mistake with this one. I actually stamp it over the frame that I've stuck down, and because it's a patterned frame that you can see the pattern through, so you have to really look at the stamping to know what it says. But nevertheless, I'm going to leave it there and I'm going to move on and add some stamping on the bottom corner of the right hand photo, and I'm going to add captured on film because I took many videos on this trip of the beach and it was just so beautiful that I wanted to document that and add that there. I'm then going to add a sticker from the 6x12 sticker sheet there, and it's a black heart that says XOXO, and then I'm going to add a little tiny gold heart to that as well. I'm then going to carry the gold heart theme across all of the rest of the clusters, so I'm going to add one to the golden white heart underneath the floral embellishments, and then I'm going to add one where we've got the cluster on the top of the left hand photo. I'm now taking a normal black biro pen and I'm going to outline the top edge with the journaling for this layout. I really find stories are important, and especially remembering what we've done and where we've been, so I add that to the top and I think it looks perfect. From a distance it almost looks like stitching, and if you want to know what happens you can read it, and if not it just looks like a little pretty addition. I'm then going to take some black and white twine to add further detail to the bottom of the page, and I'm only using one layer, and I'm going to stick that underneath the craft layer, and I'm going to just staple that once on each side, and then I'm going to take some washi tape to tie the ends on the back. I'm now going to go to my box of enamel dots and I'm going to spread a few of these around the couple of clusters that we've got on the layout. I'm going to use some pink ones and some turquoise ones, and then that's going to be the layout finished. I really hope you've enjoyed this layout. I've used a couple of examples of clusters. So we've got the cluster at the top of the photo, one on the corner of the photo, and the cluster that's underneath the photo. I had so much fun creating this layout and the video for you, and I really do hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful. Thank you so much as well to UK Scrap Addicts for having me and giving me this experience. It's been so much fun. I'd love to see you over on my YouTube channel, mrs-c-scraps, as well, if you'd like to see more videos from me. Don't forget to check out the UK Scrap Addicts blog and YouTube channel for more content on clustering this month. Thanks so much for watching.